Welcome back to another look at the Hamilton real estate market. Today we're diving into October 2024, examining key statistics and trends to give you a comprehensive market overview. If you happen to like what you're watching, please hit the like button. I would really appreciate that. Now, let's get started. Let's start off with the median sale price. In October, the median sale price in Hamilton closed out at $725,000. Year over year, this is a 2.5% increase from last October, which is a strong gain compared to September's 1.5% increase year over year. So things are continuing to trend in a positive direction. While still falling short of the year's high of $754,000 in March, it's the highest number for October that the market has seen, other than in 2021, when things were escalating towards the market peak in early 2022. It's also a very slight fall from September when prices ended at $730,000, but historically, prices do drop just a few $1,000s, a very small fraction from September to October, so nothing of note at all. Likewise, the closing price for October is about 97% of the year's high, which again is about exactly where it tends to be on average. So the moral of the median price story is there's nothing at all out of the ordinary that jumps out at us. Next, we'll move on to cumulative days on market. Now, the typical property in the Hamilton market spent about 35 days on the market for October, which was up 40% from the 25 days recorded last October, but we know that number's been climbing this year. And compared with September's figure of 44 days, this is actually a 20% decrease. Now, of note, a decrease from September to October is atypical. So this past month was defined the conventional market trend where properties usually linger a bit longer as the year ends once fall season comes around. Now, the decline in days on market from last month suggests maybe that sellers' expectations are a little more, let's call it market aware when they're listing than they were, really becoming as the year grew older, thereby leading to some quicker sales in the market. Next, for months on inventory, in October, Hamilton had 4 months of inventory available at the end of the month, which was down 13% from October 2023's 4.6 months and down over 21% from last month, which ended at 5.1 and was the highest number we'd seen in over a decade in the market. Now, if you're ready for some big changes, last month saw 555 homes sold, marking a substantial 30% increase over the same month last year. It's also a boost from the 442 sales we saw in September, which is up by over 25%. This is another unusual increase as this period traditionally sees a decline. Now, before we go, super crazy that buyers are back in droves, this still remains the third slowest October we've experienced in over a decade, but those two slower Octobers were in 2022 and 2023. So compared to recent history, it's pretty active. So while buying demand isn't back to normal levels, it's looking like it is on the way. Number of new listings this month, there were just over 1,200 new listings added to the market, which was a decrease compared to last month's 1,355, which was over a 10% drop. And against October 2023, which had 1,248 new listings, it's a marginal drop of 4%. These changes year over year, month over month, are pretty standard, so nothing jumps out from it at all. But when it comes to the sales to new listings ratio, we do see a substantial change due to the aforementioned jump in buyer activity. Now, as of the end of the month, or through the month, the market had a sales to new listings ratio of 46%, which is a huge jump of over 10 points from last month and over 10 points from last October. And it's the highest we've seen this year since April, which was the busiest month just before the market really started to slow down in May. This pulls the market back into more balanced territory between buyers and sellers. And what will be interesting to see is if this month of November, if this month was a 1 month jump or if it continues into November. And now for total inventory, October closed out with 2,245 homes on the market, which is only 11 fewer than last month, which was the highest number we'd seen in over a decade. So inventory is still very, very high, and it presents a lot of choice for buyers, even with the material increase in buyer demand that we saw in October. It's going to take either a long time to bring this level down to more traditional levels, or we'll need to see a shocking decrease in the number of new listings in a given period, or a shocking increase in the number of sales in a given period, or both, in order to see a significant drop in inventory. Having said this, it's still important for buyers to understand that relative demand is on the rise, so while there remains a lot of choice, it's not as plentiful as it had been in terms of competing with other buyers, so keep that in mind. Overall, in sum, last month I said it was a good time for buyers to make a move, in that prices seem to have bottomed out in the market and inventory was at an all-time high. This month, inventory is still strong, and while relative demand is picking up a little bit, prices haven't begun to rise yet. So I still see it as a really great time to buy. And I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to be able to keep saying that. My guess would only be for a few more months into the early part of next year, at best, as rates continue to drop and more buyers enter the market again. Now for sellers, if you can hang on until early next year, you could probably be the beneficiary of doing so. But if you need to sell now, just know that you'll still be facing stiff competition, so treat it accordingly. Do not send your home to market in a half-baked way. Do the hard work up front, make your home shine, make your listing shine, and it will pay off for you at least as much as the market will allow for it. Now that's the wrap up for October 2024. Thanks for joining my monthly update. If you have questions or comments, please don't hesitate to fire away. And if you can please hit that like button, I'd appreciate that. Now stay tuned for the news from November. I'll see you in about 1 month. Take care.